Healthy Anger and Your Health by William G. Defoore, Ph.D. Narrated by William G. Defoore.
Our topic tonight, Healthy Anger and Your Health, is kind of an interesting mix of words if you think about it, because ordinarily the word anger and health don't end up in the same sentence. They're usually not combined, and yet there is such a thing as healthy anger, and it is actually very good for your health. I want you to consider that your body and mind is an integrated system designed for your health. You know, we've heard the term, it's all in your mind. I love the epitaph on the hypochondriac's tombstone that says, I told you I was sick. If you think about it, these heads are pretty well connected to the bodies. If you notice that, I mean, mine is. And if something happens, if I stub my toe, my mind knows about that immediately. So there's this light speed connection between mind and body, and yet we do have this idea that something could be all in our head. Well, the fact is, this is one integrated body-mind system. Therefore, the good news about that is that you can make changes in your mind that affect your health and your emotional wellness, as we'll discuss. So where does health come from? If you imagine that we are like concentric circles. Health and wholeness is from inside. When you get sick or if you have an injury and healing comes, where does that healing come from? The healing doesn't actually come from the medical treatment, right? It doesn't come from the surgery. It comes from within. So we are naturally self-healing organisms. And yet, how often have you heard that phrase? How often do we, on television commercials or from healthcare professionals, how often do you hear that you are an amazing self-healing organism? We don't hear that very much, do we? But it is a fact. It was actually a physician that first said that to me. He said, people call me a healer. I'm not a healer. He said, if I get sick, I heal myself, but that's the only healing I do. I help my patients to get rid of any interference to their own healing. So think about that, and then think about the possibility, or really scientifically, the fact that there is a blueprint for a healthy whole you inside you. This is why cloning works. You can reproduce an entire human being from cells, from hair follicles and cells in their body. So there's this blueprint for the whole you there inside you, and focusing on that is actually good for your health. But then we run into these barriers. Like in the emotional realm, fear. What a tremendous barrier fear is. And you all know about fear. And you know about the power of fear to dominate your mind. And anger, of course, can be very, very powerful and very strong. Sorrow can be very strong, and that can be a barrier to your health and wholeness. And in your mind, negative beliefs about yourself and skepticism and doubt about things that you should actually trust and believe in can actually be barriers. And then, of course, there are all kinds of barriers in our body. Illness, for example, is a huge barrier to health and wellness. But I want you to consider that your natural state of being is healthy and whole, and that your overall state of wellness is a combination of all of that. So, for example, if someone asks you, how are you doing? How's your health? What we tend to answer is about our illness or our whatever our current pain or discomfort is, right? How's your health? We answer in terms of illness. But the fact is, I mean, imagine this. Someone says, how's your health? He said, well, you know, my right shoulder's not hurting at all. My knees are working just fine. And you know, my digestive system doesn't have any problems. The fact is that there's a whole lot more right with you than wrong with you at any given moment, or else you'd be in a hospital. Isn't that right? I mean, when there's more wrong than right, we go to the hospital. So the fact that you're not in the hospital tells us there's more working than not working in you. And
Sample complete. Ready to continue?